Hey, what is up, guys? Team Dude291 here. Have you ever found a YouTube channel where it's just, you've watched so much of it and you've enjoyed it so much that you just have to get it out there and share it with people? Well, recently I've been watching a variety of new shows and channels that have piqued my interest, and I have come to the conclusion to start sharing my findings on the wonderful world of YouTube and explaining their stories for newcomers, as well as some facts most people who watch the channel might not know of. And for our first episode, I figured I'd go over the one that I know for a while, and I recommend to anyone who is at least interested in horror. And just in time, too, seeing how the channel is going to become very active again very soon. So, follow me deep into the woods, my friends, as we gather into the office of one investigator who's a little too eager to have guests. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Night Mind. And his strange story of how he came to YouTube. And believe me, it's weird. The voice of Nightmind, Nick Nocturne, is something you don't trifle with. And I say something simply because Nick is not human whatsoever. Instead, hailing from a massive family of 300 plus Lylin, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, a race of interdimensional shapeshifter demons that live for a very long time. I'm not kidding when I say that. We have no idea of what Nick's age is, but we do know that he is at least over 200 years old, first appearing in the early 1800s, in our world at least, when humans started looking into the occult. He went away for a while until humans started looking into the occult again in the early 1990s, mainly popping on over because he was interested in what kind of technology we were using, making deals and causing general mayhem. However, he does admit he was a bit of a slacker in this era, sometimes ignoring his duties. Something he went to make up for by crossing into our world for a more permanent stay in the early 90s. However, certain circumstances he is yet to give full details on prevented this for long, making quote-unquote returns to Earth in 2001, 2005, and finally 2012, where he finally got to stay in our realm for good, at least for now. What happened in 2012 to make this so? Well, part of it has to do with the effects of a very profound series known to us as Marble Hornets. He also came into contact with a human he calls Meatbag, who let Nick live with him and provides him the means to run a Patreon page as well as the YouTube channel. Currently, Nick's most prominent form is that of a black cat with 4 eyes, 2 purple, 2 green. He has been known to take both feral and anthro forms of this cat, and he also seems to have some human form, but only people who have seen this form know what it looks like. Nick and Meatbag aren't the only beings in their home, however. Staying with them is Nick's surrogate son, Binks, an ordinary black cat in appearance, but might be something more after his exposure to Nick. Details on this aren't too clear, but seeing how cats exist both in Earth and Hell simultaneously, it'd be no surprise if Binks had some kind of powers. Nick also has an unnamed boyfriend, it's not weird people, get with the times, who stays with them in the house. All we really know is that this boyfriend isn't weirded out by Nick, has some connection to Meatbag, and that's why they are roommates, and is very supportive of the work being done on the YouTube channel. Now then, why do they call him Meatbag? Well, part of it has to do with help protecting the identity as well as their location, and the reason why they want to do this will become quite apparent as we get further into the history of the YouTube channel. Speaking of which, the channel was started back in 2015, beginning with Nick's love of Marble Hornets. He covered the series to help explain some of the finer points of what happened in the series, mainly due to the fact that some plot threads can be very confusing. People enjoyed his work on this, so he went on to parts of the Slenderverse, a fictional universe inspired by the old web icon Slenderman, something that, in fact, shares with Marble Hornets, as Marble Hornets inspired their character, the Operator, off of the Slenderman mythos, and then a lot of people got inspired by that and then continued onward, and that bled into what we now know as the Slenderverse. It contains many series within it, such as Everyman Hybrid, Tribe 12, and Dark Harvest, just to name a few, and he explained all of these series over countless hours, as well as many more. I can't remember the exact number of how much it is, but I do remember watching all of it, and that was one hell of a binge. He also found the work of Alan Resnick and Wham City Comedy, explaining their work after taking hours of just watching the stuff these guys make. Seriously, 9+ hours for a single project is insanity. He then held his first Halloween special, The Candy Bowl, shortly after. Inspired from the work in the 2 videos he did for the special, he expanded the channel, extending outward to cover new dark web series, old case files, and alternate reality games, as well as general spooky content. Highlights from this era include, but aren't limited to, the Wyoming incident, Cam Drone, Ben Drown, Knock 10, Poppy, Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, which is returning by the way, Found on Tape, and Ben's Playhouse. This leads into the second Halloween on the channel, where Nick got daring and broke into the SCP Foundation vault, using one of their own security drones in order to do so, covering the most wanted anomalies of Foundation who have eluded full containment. Nick apparently has had some run-ins with the Foundation in the past, but getting into the vault added him to the most wanted list, and the Foundation is now eager to capture him. Many fans of the Nightmind channel claim to have found an SCP item file labeled SCP-2892 containing the Foundation's knowledge on Nick. However, the official SCP-2892 file is on an item codenamed the Flying Dutchman, which is in fact the HNLMS Java, a sunken Dutch cruiser from World War II that took up anomalous properties of a hostile ghost ship. It's currently unknown if this file is a fake made by O5 to hide Nick's existence from lower-level personnel, like they do with SCP-001, as well as common SCP leakers, or if the file is legitimate and the YouTube user Commenter, who is the first earliest known individual to see this file, has had his memory messed with by the Foundation regarding the details of the file, such as the item number, as well as a couple of any other discrepancies and details found between the history and the actual reading on the file. Which case, if you look for it in the comments on the SCP videos, you can find it, and it's interesting to say the very least. Regardless, Nick moved on, covering new series such as The 15 Experience, Ekva, Petscop, Jordan Underneath, and Cat Ghost, also taking up the time to release a collective of videos to teach others how to make a web series. Shortly messing with the Foundation yet again as he dug up an old Dilly's tape, and nearly cursed all of his viewers in the process. Man, what a day that was to clear up. Jesus. This was shortly followed by a partnership deal with Crypt TV to cover some of their series, which led to Nick having enough funds to build an official gathering place for his followers to listen. Taking up the time to cover The Human Pet and My Dad's Tapes, before going on a spree of general weirdness that he called Cabin Fever Dreams, taking the time to lightly cover Bunny Rabbit, Slaughter Me Streets, Odd Stories for Odd Children, or Os Fucking Cirrhosis. Seriously, that is an amazing name, and the furry community needs more porn of that shit. Pizza Time Pizza, and Treats for Beasts, which, believe me, is scary as before going fully in depth on Daisy Brown, closing out the Cabin Fever, and Daisy Brown was just straight up madness. I don't even want to go into detail on that. Jeez. This was then followed by a period of complete silence as Nick took time for reflection of who he is and what the channel should be, streaming live updates to Everyman Hybrid and Tribe 12 before a real shocker came out of nowhere from one of the series Nick had covered previously, titled Jack Torrance. And, oh man, this stuff was insane, believe me. I was just like, what in the world is going on here? I myself was befuddled when I saw that stream hit. But the sudden live stream caused Nick to run out to Texas, getting cursed by an evil force, as well as unknowingly spreading that curse to his viewers. forcing Nick to break a personal rule of his, or more accurately, a personal oath that he swore, to never show his viewers magic so that he could undo the curse.
I hereby purify all of these objects, myself, all of my viewers and followers, of all evil and influence brought upon them by the spirit named Jack Torrance. May the light and the purity of water and the sun wash them away. What you have done in the dark, I purify in the light.
And hopefully through his efforts, Jack Torrance can no longer spread his evil to anyone on the web. I am personally hoping so. I know for a fact that I didn't bind myself. I'm not that stupid. But, I mean, hey, when you're dealing with interdimensional demons, monsters, and all kinds of other things, there are a bunch of humans that might make mistakes. As for now, the channel is in a very dormant state, mainly due to Nick getting ready for October once again. Prepping out the candy bowl once more, this time with viewer content in the works, as well as another monster hunt, which is the tradition around Halloween on the channel. I am also sure that Crypt TV will have some involvement as well, and knowing Nick, he's probably going to go 3 for 3 with the SCP Foundation this year. How he will get info from the vaults this time, I have no idea, but I doubt it's going to be from a fucking B-rated VHS tape again. I mean, maybe a DVD, but well, we'll have to see what the theme of 90s Nightmare does. Anyways, that's all I have on the Nightmind channel right now. One crazy story that I can't wait to see where it goes next, and you can too. Please, if you take interest in the dark web, go subscribe to Nightmind. You'll be doing yourself a favor. As for me and my fox self, I'm just going to enjoy the show that is to come. But before I go, Nick, if you're watching this video, thank you for your hard work and the inspiration you spread to others. And if you did watch through this whole thing, I hope you enjoyed. Seriously, I am a huge fan of the series with a lot of the different stuff you've created, and I cannot wait for some of the stuff that'll be going on, and I'm going to be doing my best to try to get involved in some of the future stuff, especially with that candy bowl. But unfortunately, finances are a little bit problematic, and of course, it gets hard in order to do projects when you don't have money. Speaking of which, excellent segue, if any of you viewers at home enjoyed my in-depth analysis of this channel, then please like the video and subscribe to Team Dude 91 today, as I got more videos in the works, including some big future projects that I don't want to spoil just yet. You can also support me on Patreon to help improve the quality of these videos, as well as check out my second Patreon, patreon.com/neoxreki, to go support my light novel, First City, both of which are linked in the description below. Either one helps me out, to which case, it helps cover rent, goes to the channel, and also makes it so I'm able to create more things and do more things I enjoy, as well as creating even larger, more dynamic projects. So if you guys want to see that from me, please go support that stuff. And I have some very fun rewards, and that can change over time with the help of others in which way I should take that. And believe me, once people start donating and taking interest in these pages, then I'll start posting on them and just allowing for access content and other stuff like that. The only reason I haven't done so is because nobody has. So once people take interest, I'll start posting. Let's put it that way. And I got hit with a few setbacks that forced me to start First City over from scratch. But hopefully it's going to turn out better in the long run. Anyways, that's all from me. So until next time, this is Team Dude 91 signing out.